I started at a 770 rating. I had 1 day to make World Series. How did it go? Back squads, welcome back. We have a brand new season of Ranked, which means we have a brand new Ranked Seasons program and rewards. Alfonso Soriano and Mike Trout are looking nice in the choice pack. But of course, before we get into the new Ranked Seasons, we got to talk about how the last Ranked Seasons wrapped up. We took advantage of all the supercharges. We had Wyatt Langford, Yandy Diaz, Brian Reynolds. We even swapped out Gunnar Henderson for Bobby Witt Jr. and threw Jerickson Profar in the outfield for more defense at one point. The lineups were rocking on this World Series run. Texas! John Boy Media is headed to Texas, and I'm going with them. Not only that, we're doing a watch party for the All-Star Game on Tuesday, July 16th. Come hang out with me, BBD, Trevor Plouffe, We Got Ice, the rest of the John Boy crew. There's going to be a live episode of Talking Baseball. We're doing live trivia. We're going to be hanging out with you guys, doing Q&As, all that fun stuff. Head to shopjohnboymedia.com. The link will be right down there in the description box down below. Click on it, grab a ticket, come see me. I'm really excited to meet everyone. This is my first company event where we travel, especially those of you that have been so welcoming of me in the warehouse with everything we do in the warehouse games. It's been awesome. Can't wait to see you guys. Come hang out. Link down below. We started this grind session at a 770 rating with a 43-13 overall record on the year. We had supercharged Chris Sanchez on the mound to get it going, and I really liked Chris Sanchez. One note here, for someone that doesn't rely on velocity, I'd like to see him get more cards in the future. A lot of break. The changeup is nasty. Good control on his pitches. We start the scoring with a solo shot, and then we just kept pitching and pitching and pitching with Christopher Sanchez. Another strikeout there on Ken Griffey Jr., and then with a runner on first, 2 outs. Chase Utley's going to swing over top of that slider to end the inning. Runner on first. We're going to get one in the gap with Brian Reynolds, but we had a little bit of a base running mishap there. We do end up moving them over to second and third with 1 out. Brings up Eddie Murray. He drops the hammer. 3-run Oppo blast to make it 4-0 in the bottom of the third. And that's where the rage quit came in. Ejecto Cito, cuz our first game of the grind is a win, and that bumps us up to a 794 rating. That guy only had a 710 rating, although he had the Championship Series shield. In game 2, we got Zach Wheeler on the mound against Scooble, and we, again, will strike first. A solo shot from Ken Griffey Jr. into the seats in right field. But our opponent in this game was good, and we knew right away he's going to get a double out to left field down the line to start things off, and then with a runner on third, 2 outs, Brian Roberts is going to sneak one out to the outfield. He does cash in on that extra base hit, and he ties it up. So we have to get right back in the box and get to work. We tried, and we lined out. 2 outs now, 2-2 count, and again, we get a solo shot. Relying on the home run here early in this second game, we go back up 2-1, 2-out homer. We were down to our last strike on the inning. We get one in the seats. 4th inning now. Runner on first. Yandy Diaz is going to go all the way down the line. We'll go first to third. It ends up being a double. I thought it was going to have to be a single at first there. And then with 2 outs, again, we cash in with 2 outs. Trey Turner pulls one down the line. That's a 2-run single, making it a 4-1 ball game. Strike first, strike often. I knew right away this guy wasn't going to be someone who goes away. He had really good at-bats early in the game. Gets a solo shot to make it 4-2. And then in the 7th inning, again with 2 outs, Brian Reynolds hits a 2-run shot. And that was the biggest swing of this game, getting us that 4-run lead late. It kind of took the wind out of his sails. He tacked on one more solo shot, but we win it 6-3. 2 straight wins to start it off. Chris Sanchez, Zach Wheeler, both the winners. We get 30 points on that win, jumps us up to an 824 rating. And now game 3. More Phillies. Roy Halladay on the mound for us. Ranger Suarez on the mound for him. Doc getting lit up early. An opposite field home run makes it 1-0. And then Jorge Polanco with an opposite field home run. He makes it 2-0. Right out of the gates, we're down. Different from the first 2 games, but that's all right. With a runner in scoring position here in the 4th inning, Yandy Diaz has been one of our better players this season, or at least since I threw him on the squad for his supercharge. He's one of the better players during this grind. He gets one back on the double, and then Trey Turner with 2 outs is going to hit that one over the left fielder's head. It 1-hops the wall, only 55 speed on first, so he'll have to hold up at third base. But William Contreras comes through with 2 outs. A nice little 2-out rally here in the fourth. Not only do we get on the board, we tie it up. We take the lead. 3-2 is the score, and then Gunnar Henderson back at the top of the order. That 99 Gunnar Henderson was a huge swap for us. I think that was the right thing to do with our wild card. He gets on. Next batter, Brian Reynolds hits a single, but then Ken Griffey Jr. with the bases loaded. We score 3 on the inning. We take the lead, but we leave them loaded as well. 3-2 into the fifth, where Yandy Diaz does it again. We were pitching pretty good after giving up 2 early. We end up scoring the next 4 unanswered after going down 2-0, make that 5 unanswered with a solo shot in the 7th inning from Eddie Murray. 5-2 ball game, and this is where things just completely, he fell apart. He goes to Mariano Rivera out of the bullpen. Bryce Harper makes it back-to-back home runs. 6-2 is the score. How about back-to-back-to-back home runs? Yandy Diaz again, just damage. He had an opportunity to rob that one, didn't time it up. And how about back-to-back-to-back-to-back? Make it 4 straight home runs. Chipper Jones forces the Rage quit. We get the win right there. Team Elite quit, plus 18 points on the season. Puts us at 842. So at this point, we were cruising. And this was also the point where I shut it down for the night. Tuesday night was a successful grind session. We got into the office early on Wednesday. We need 58 points to make World Series. I got about 5 hours to get it done. Here's how it went. Next up, Zach Wheeler on the mound for our opponent. I went opener in this one. I didn't have a full energy pitcher at all. Perfect to start the game for Brian Reynolds. Rips it through the infield out into the gap. That'll be an extra base hit. Then Ken Griffey Jr. comes up. Kind of jammed myself on that swing. Got in tight on the sinker. We fly out to left. And then Eddie Murray got underneath of a cutter. Just missed that one. We do not score after getting the runner in scoring position. And he immediately punches us in the mouth with a solo shot, goes up 1-0, and then he just starts tacking on. Base hit after base hit after base hit, followed up by a double down the line the other way. He scores a couple. 3-0 is the score after the first. But you know the way that we have been hitting. We were not going to go down without a fight. A quick 2-run homer from Chipper Jones in the top of the second. That's going to get us on the board. 3-2 is the score now. And then Francisco Alvarez gets one back right away to start the bottom of the second. 4-2 ball game now. We're playing from behind. Mookie Betts grounds out to end the second inning, and there we are through 2, 4-2. And then in the third, he gets a runner on third, and Rafi Devers is going to get a sacrifice fly. So he's scored in each inning so far. We go down 5-2. Bryce Harper with a runner in scoring position to start the fourth. I really just wanted to maybe see if we got lucky there on the bases. I thought we were trapped because the ball was behind the base runner anyway. Tried to play games. Didn't get back in time. Runner on first. Bryce Harper's going to score on this Yandy Diaz home run. There's Yandy Diaz again. We had a little base running blunder there, but we cash in on a 2-run shot, making it a 1-run game. And then again, as he has already early in this game, every single time I've scored, punches right back and gets one back. Makes it a 6-4 game. Now into the fifth. Gunnar Henderson's going to get a perfect to left center field. 6-5 is the score. This was a really chaotic first half of a ball game. 6-5, and then we homer again. Brian Reynolds, dead center field, ties it up at 6, and after having an extremely chaotic first 5 innings, 6-6 score, a bunch of homers and hits, there's not another run in this game until extras. We're all the way into the 10th where I make the biggest base. That's the worst base running blunder I think I've ever had. I mean, that one was never even going to be close. And, of course, right after I fold that opportunity, top 10, he gets a 63 exit velo blooper to drop for a walk-off. Unbelievably tough way for that game to end. We grinded through it, but really we fell apart offensively after we tied it. So we're looking to get a bounce-back game in the next one. Like I said, we had about 5 hours once I got to the office, so we really only had room for 1 or 2 losses. We can't go on a losing streak. We need to get a win. Couple quick outs to start the game. Again, Christopher Sanchez on the mound. Top of the second, 2-2, 2 outs, 1 on, and he gets them looking. Just a dot. Christopher Sanchez was my saving grace on this run. That was a really bad slider right there, but my opponent was underneath of it. He pops up. Then Jimmy Rollins going to get a soft pop-up out to right. A lot of strikeouts with Christopher Sanchez, but even more soft contact. Very just it's like watching Christopher Sanchez in real life. 2 outs, bottom 3. We're going to strike first in this one. Brian Reynolds, his supercharge. As you know, Brian Reynolds, one of the better swings in the game. Great supercharge addition to the team. He makes it 1-0. And then Ken Griffey Jr. with 2 outs here, 2-2, bottom 3. He's going to go dead center. Double the lead. 2-0 now. On early. What's up with all the solo homers in this game? Here's another one. Eddie Murray out to left. Perfect. 113 off the bat. Loud noises. 8th inning now. Runner in scoring position for Ken Griffey Jr. Really loud noises. His second of the game. His 7th home run since we've added him to the team already. Then Eddie Murray comes up, and he does it again. That's 2 multi-homer bats on the game right there. 6-0 ends up being the final score. We get the win. The ball's flying all over the place. So, again, we get a big bounce-back W right there. That jumps our rating up to 839. At this point, I have about 4 hours to get this done. He's got 95 Roy Halladay on the mound. I really can't afford to lose again. So, again, we have got to stay hot. Coming out on the mound here with Zach Wheeler. He's going to get a couple of ground outs to start this inning. And then with 2 outs, Babe Ruth in a full count. We try and go backdoor cutter right here. He's batting .358 with this Babe Ruth. And he just pokes it through the middle. Hit it hard, ripped it through the middle. But then Chipper Jones comes up, hits ground ball to Trey Turner, and he botches it. A 2-2, 2-out ground ball. Trey Turner can't come up with it. E4. A 2-out error, and you already know that's going to come back to bite us. Line drive, base hit up the middle for Abraham Toro out to center field. Then with 2 on and 2 outs, Matt Holliday is going to rip one over Bryce Harper's head in right. Not only does he get 1, he gets 2. He gets 3 unearned runs after the 2-out error from Trey Turner. Tough bite. But we have bounced back on this run already. We have faced some adversity. Supercharged Wyatt Langford at this point is in the lineup. He's supercharged, and he gets a 101 barreled up line drive to center that dies at the wall. We give up 3 in the first, all unearned, and then we line out with a runner in scoring position. An extremely tough ice tilt first inning right there for us. And Zach Wheeler never really recovers. Confidence goes down there in the first on the 2-out rally. We do get out of this jam in the second. Runners go on the corners with 2 outs, and we get a fly out. But the luck was just not on our side in this one. Jimmy Rollins makes a diving stop for the second out of the second inning, and then Chipper Jones is going to fly out on the cutter in right here. And when our opponent gets back in the box, boy, does he get back in the box. Abraham Toro in an 0-2 count. He's going to pull that one deep out the right center field. It'll one-hop off the wall for an extra base hit. Then Matt Holliday comes up. A missed sinker right out over the plate. Crushed. That was a bad pinpoint on me, and at this point, like I was kind of getting at going into this inning, Zach Wheeler's confidence was down in the first inning, and it never really got back up. And at this point here, 5-0, 1 out. I should be getting him out of this game. I tried to pitch through this, but he's poking singles all over the place. And then, of course, eventually he cashes in on a big extra base hit. Runners on the corners. Estuary Ruiz is going to rip one off the wall out and left. And I kind of just let Zach Wheeler go out on the sword right here. Runners on second and third with 1 out. Jimmy Rollins rips one to center. It's 8-0 in the blink of an eye. We realistically should have been or could have been up 1-0 in the first inning of this game. And before you know it, it's 9-0. Make that 11-0 in the third. I said this in the last episode of Pack Squads. When I lose ugly. Nobody shuts us out. Wyatt Langford hits a bomb to dead central. Nobody shuts us out. Makes it 13-1. And then Yandy Diaz, who has had a great run here, is also going to go perfect out the right. We almost pushed more innings in this game, but we do end up losing it by a score of 13-2. The wheels fell off. I should have just taken Zach Wheeler out of the game and did what I had to do. My opponent, sadly, there was just 2 points shy of World Series after that game. 47-15 rating, or 47-15 record. 822 rating is where we were sitting at this point. And I tried to jump in. I tried. We're 78 points away. I only have about 2.5 hours. I need at least 1, maybe even 2 rage quits if I'm going to make this happen. But I figured, why not? Let's push it. Brian Reynolds hits an opposite field bomb. And then Wyatt Langford with 2 on, 1 out. Sadly rolls a 6-4-3 double play. We get 1, we squander 2. And I figured maybe we could pitch a little bit with Satchel Paige. We haven't seen any Satchel Paige on this run. But it's 1-0. We got an early lead. Never mind. Sinker away to Chipper Jones, and he gets the oppo blast. Kind of similar to the Brian Reynolds homer, 92 exit velo, opposite field shot. Ties it up at 1. And then William Contreras for us, he's going to fly out to start the third. 1 out, Brian Reynolds just under that cutter. Took a bad swing on that pitch right there. 2nd out of the inning. And then Bryce Harper's going to ground out up the middle. Really bad set of at-bats there in the 3rd after we gave up the lead. And he's got all the momentum right now. Satchel Paige kind of missing all over the place. That ball's barreled up the dead center field. Ruiz is going to hit a 2-run shot. And then Elias Diaz, 2 outs, 2-2 count. Gets a meatball right out over the plate. Then in the 5th with 1 on, 2 outs, Brian Reynolds. Boy, whew, it went downhill fast when I got to 8:45. Fast. The mistake I made was on Tuesday night. I should have played a couple of more games. I was on fire. Regardless, I had a ton of fun on this little grind. I'm going to try and do at least one mid-season grind here so that I want to be in championship series with like 2 weeks to spare.